guys, today we're walking through the only underground street in New York City, which also is a tunnel passageway for the 191st Street subway station in Washington Heights, Manhattan. The 191st Street station on the IRT Broadway 7th Avenue line for the 1 train is the deepest station in New York City at 173 feet, 53 meters below street level. The pedestrian tunnel extends west from the station for 1,000 feet or 300 meters from St. Nicholas Avenue to Broadway. The tunnel is 12 feet wide or 3.7 meters and 12 feet high in the center with 6-foot sides and an arched roof with a radius of 6 feet. The tunnel passageway cost $76,000 to build, with $5,000 provided by the IRT and the remainder levied on neighborhood property owners at their request. And that was back in 1911. The 191st Street subway station opened in 1911, and even though the subway line had been built 5 years earlier, no station was constructed at 191st Street because the area's hilly topography made it very hard for residents to access the station. That's why they built this pedestrian tunnel passageway, which opened 2 years later than the subway stop on March 8, 1913, and the street was named Tunnel Street. The tunnel street was intended to be used as an easy way for pedestrians to get to St. Nicholas Avenue at the top of the steep hill and avoid a difficult walk of over a quarter to 1/3 of a mile. In order to construct the 191st Street subway station, rock was blasted and removed to accommodate 4 elevators and an emergency staircase from the surface to platform level. This tunnel was painted by 6 different artists in 2015 as part of the 191st Street Tunnel Beautification Project. The artists who painted it include 3 graffiti artists, the legendary Cope 2, who's from the Bronx, as well as Queen Andrea and Sekis. Sadly, much of their work has been covered over by graffiti vandals, so you can't really appreciate the beautiful original artwork. This tunnel street is a really long walk, and because it's the only way to enter or exit the 191st Street subway platform now, since the elevators at St. Nicholas Avenue are closed, you may want to avoid this station altogether, especially if you're walking alone at night. The 4 elevators at St. Nicholas Avenue, which lead to the mezzanine level of the station, have been closed since February 1st, 2020, so that they can be replaced with new ones which have CCTV cameras, a backup power supply, and technology that allows for a quicker response time in case of an elevator malfunction. We really love the mosaic tile work done by artist Raul Colon in 2003 on the wall leading to the uptown platform. Look at that frolicking doggy, which Hudson would certainly appreciate. Walk along the platform to show you more of the deepest subway station in New York City. It's a really long platform and can easily accommodate the typical 8 to 11 subway cars in length. You may think that the tile and the platform are dirty, but there are far more worse, dirtier subway stations in New York City. This is a pretty tight area to wait for a train. Probably not the safest spot to be. Now let's explore the other end of the platform, as it's truly a long, long platform. Note that there are no elevators to get people from the turnstile entrance onto the actual platform level of the subway. Now we are headed to the downtown platform. Look at that steep, narrow staircase. This side also has that tight little area to wait for a train, but again, it's probably not the safest spot to be. Now we're going to get on the one subway train to go to the nearby 181st Street station, which also is a very deep subway station at 120 feet or 37 meters below street level. You can see that we pretty much have the entire subway car to ourselves. This would be very unusual if it weren't for the coronavirus pandemic, which is still keeping people off the subways. Wow, this platform is pretty empty too, and this is during the late morning rush hour at around 9:45 a.m. The 181st Street No. 1 train subway station opened in 1906, and both the 181st Street station and the 191st Street station that we also visited were considered in 1950 as an ideal use as a bomb-proof shelter to provide protection against conventional bombs. The subway stations could also protect people against shock waves and air blasts, as well as heat and radiation from an atomic bomb. But they were never really designated as such. It was just like an idea to use. They were never actually used for a bomb shelter. One of the features we love about the 181st Street station is the intricate work on the ceiling and the visible walkways connecting the uptown and downtown platforms. Let's go to one of these connecting platforms to get a closer view of the ceiling and its terracotta ornamentations. There was a ceiling collapse at the 181st Street station in 2009. I mean, they built these subways to make them last, but I mean, it's like over 100 years old, so it needed to be repaired.
There is an uptown 1 train to 215th Street approaching the station. Please stand away from the platform edge.
Like 191st Street, it too has a set of 4 elevators from the platform to the street level, and since the ones at 191st Street were closed, we wanted to show everyone how exactly these elevators operate. There is only one elevator out of the 4 elevators which has an attendant. This was instituted in 2004 as a result of budget cuts by the MTA. The MTA actually intended to remove all of the elevator attendants, but kept one at each station after many riders protested that it was way too dangerous not to have any attendants on duty. As you can see, only one other person was taking the elevator with us during the late morning, which we were fine with, but the lack of people using the elevators now due to the coronavirus pandemic may make some people uneasy, especially at night. Here's the emergency staircase hatch, which leads from the platform level to the mezzanine level in case of elevator malfunction. much for watching, guys. Please hit the subscribe button and notification bell and give our video a thumbs up and share it if you enjoyed watching. You may also enjoy watching some of our other videos highlighting unique places and small businesses in New York City, including many that are struggling to survive during the coronavirus shutdown. Bye, guys!
Bye, guys!
And be safe!